Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Velmora, there lived two royal sisters, Princess Lunaria and Princess Chiara. They were raised in the grand royal palace under the rule of King Lunaria, the daughter of the king's first wife, was a vision of grace. She had golden hair that shimmered like morning sun, emerald eyes that held warmth and wisdom, and a heart pure as crystal. She was known not only for her beauty but also for her intelligence, kindness, and humility. Chiara, on the other hand, was the daughter of the queen, the king's second wife. She was considered plain by the standards of the court, with harsh features and a bitter heart. But what truly made her ugly was not her appearance, but the jealousy that twisted her soul. She hated how her sister Lunaria received compliments every day, from nobles, visitors, and even from the king himself. Why is she always praised? Why does father speak only of her? Chiara often grumbled. Her mother, Queen Elfrida, shared her frustration. If this continues, she warned her daughter, she will become the queen one day. Your father favors her, not you. We must act before she takes what is rightfully yours. Burning with resentment, Queen Elfrida secretly visited a dark sorceress who lived beyond the cursed forest. The witch gave her a vial of glowing black powder and said, "Mix this into Lunaria's food. She will fall into an endless sleep. No prince's kiss will wake her. Only the impossible will break the curse." That night, Queen Elfrida returned and handed the powder to Chiara. The next morning, Chiara offered Lunaria a special breakfast tray. "I made this for you, dear sister," she said sweetly. Lunaria, always kind and trusting, smiled warmly. "Thank you, Chiara. That's very thoughtful." She took a few bites. Within minutes, her eyes closed. She did not wake again. The entire palace fell into despair. King Alaric rushed to her chambers, heart pounding. "Lunaria, my child, wake up," he cried, shaking her gently. He summoned every healer in the kingdom, but none could cure her. One old hakim shook his head. "Your Majesty, this is no illness. This is dark magic." Desperate, King Alaric summoned an astrologer, a wise man who lived in the mountains. The man studied the stars and murmured deeply, "She is under a powerful curse. The only way to break it lies far beyond your lands. In the jungle of Deep within that jungle flows a river, and in the heart of that river is a crystal palace beneath the waters. There lives an ancient creature, an enormous anaconda, with a glowing jewel on its head. Bring back that jewel and place it on the princess's forehead. Only then will she awaken." King Alaric was shaken. "But who can survive such a journey?" he announced to the kingdom. "Whoever retrieves the serpent's jewel and saves Princess Lunaria will be granted any reward, even her hand in marriage." Many knights and warriors heard the call, but all were too afraid, except for one, a poor young man named Jake. He wore torn shoes and patched clothes, but his heart was brave, and his will strong. He stepped forward before the court and said, "Your Majesty, I will go." People laughed. "He's just a commoner," but the king silenced them. "Courage does not wear gold," he said. "Let him try." Jake began his journey. Days turned into weeks as he traveled through blazing sun and storming nights. He entered the jungle of Malkar, where trees grew thick and strange creatures roamed. He faced many dangers, venomous spiders, giant bats, and quicksand. But his determination pushed him forward. Finally, he reached the river. Its waters shimmered with unnatural light. Deep below, he saw the palace of the anaconda. Taking a deep breath, he dove in. Inside the palace, he found the serpent. It was enormous, its body coiled around pillars of stone. On its head glowed a dazzling jewel. Jake moved silently, swimming behind columns. When the creature dozed, he quickly climbed onto a ledge and leapt down, grabbing the jewel. The anaconda roared and thrashed, but Jake escaped just in time. He swam to the surface, bleeding and bruised, but victorious. Back in Velmora, Lunaria still lay asleep, untouched by time, her face peaceful. Jake returned and placed the jewel upon her forehead. A radiant light filled the room. Lunaria stirred. She opened her eyes slowly. Gasps filled the hall. "She's awake." The king embraced her with tears streaming down his face. "My child, you've returned to us." Lunaria sat up, confused but calm. "I had the strangest dream. Like I was trapped in silence." When she heard how Jake risked his life to save her, she placed her hand over his and said, "You are braver than any knight." Soon, the truth came out. One of the maids had overheard Queen Elfrida and Chiara's conversation before the poisoning. She stepped forward and told everything to the king. Furious and heartbroken, King Alaric summoned the guards. Queen Elfrida and Princess Chiara, he thundered, you have committed a crime against the crown and your own blood. You shall be punished. They were stripped of their titles and exiled to a faraway barren island, never to return. Chiara wept, but her tears held no regret. Elfrida cursed the kingdom as she was dragged away, but no one listened anymore. In time, the kingdom celebrated the wedding of Princess Lunaria and Jake. Though Jake came from humble roots, he was noble in every way that mattered. Lunaria wore a gown made of moonlight silk, and Jake stood proud by her side. King Alaric, smiling through tears, said, today, we do not just celebrate love, we celebrate honor, bravery, and kindness. And so, the kingdom of Velmora found peace again. Princess Lunaria and Jake ruled with wisdom and justice, never forgetting the darkness they had overcome, and always choosing kindness over cruelty. And, deep in the jungle, the anaconda slept again, guarding his jewel, waiting for the next tale to be written. If you liked this story, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching!